Hi there and welcome tonight once again to my movie library. So this is going to be kind of a shorter video than usual because I have to work in the morning. I'm actually kind of wiped right now, but I wanted to make a, I think Siri just was but asked me what I wanted. But I wanted to make a video tonight. I'm going to talk on some movie stuff. I'm going to do a short C-section because I only have a couple here to respond to. But I've got to, and then I got to. Sometime later on in the week, I'll write written responses to all the comments on here. I apologize. I started a new job, and it's been there's been a lot of training. It's been really busy, so I haven't been able to get things done as quickly as I want to. But I'm trying to, at the very least, keep the videos fairly consistent. I'm hopefully moving, in a couple months. And that changes my changes the internet, changes a lot of things. So if everything's going fine, I'm looking forward to making a lot more videos, or at least making videos on a more consistent basis. If I can make them daily or so many a week, do more like live streams and more live videos as well. That's something that I'm actually looking forward to. So right now I'm trying to get back into that mode of being able to to make videos and hopefully see the quality of the videos stay consistent as well. So there we go. Without further ado, let's just jump right on into the C-section. So as I was doing this last night, I got one last comment, which was from Mark, who basically said, Indicator, a great company, keep up the great work, happy, nice birthday, Hal. And so leaving off of that, after that one last night, I want to say again, thank you, Mark. And next up, I have one from the Wicker Boy here. Hobgoblins is one that keep meaning to buy. Nightmare Sisters going straight in the basket. Love the sound of it. Linnea Quigley, anything with her I will buy. 5 films, 5 years, a great release. I agree. I have these Indicator box sets as well. Such well put together releases, and they really, really are well put together releases. I think did my phone just buzz? It's nice when, yeah, it's my Fitbit, kind of for my phone. Thank you again, the Wicker Boy, and yeah, you got some great taste in films. Movie Map, excellent, great stuff you got there, and I like your Halloween shirt. My first Vinegar Syndrome title that I picked up was Madman, which I got back in 2013 from Amazon, and the first title that I got directly from Vinegar Syndrome was The Bees. Those are two cool releases. It would be great if they could release July 6th, and I agree, but I think Scorpion still owns the rights, even though their Blu-ray is out of print. I could be wrong, though. That Ray Harryhausen box set looks great. Also, I want to mention that I have not forgotten the stuff I'll be sending your way. I'm just deciding what Blu-ray to send you. I do have a few ideas in mind, but I don't want to mention names because I want it to be a surprise. Thank you so much. And I didn't think that you've forgotten. Awesome guy. So, again, thank you so much in advance for that. And I look forward to it. I appreciate it. And I love being surprised. Hank Sampson here said, "Hey Aaron, have you seen Harryhausen's The Valley of Gwangi?" Actually, Hank, that's one of my dad's favorite Harryhausen films. Long before I'd ever seen Valley of Gwangi, my dad had described it to me so often that by the time that I'd seen the movie, I felt like I'd already seen the film, and I do actually really like it. Cowboys versus dinosaurs. How can you not like that? It's my favorite of his. I can remember staying up late as a kid to catch it on television. A Western with dinosaurs. Hey, right on. Your reference to the classic movie monster book of your youth twigged my memory regarding a post Zanzirak did last fall. Is it the same one? Hold on a second. Zanzirak is a guy that I actually watch a lot. Let's just check his I'm wondering. So I'm going to that video. I'm keeping it muted because I want to get copyright or infringement. Monster movie books of my youth. Ooh, this looks like a really good video. How did I miss this? I really like Zanzirak stuff. There's a lot of people that I watch on here, and I miss out every once in a while on some of their stuff. Okay, I'm watching this later. This is 26 minutes long. Obviously, I'm not going to see if the book is in here right now. However, I will tell you that, and yes, it is. It's called Movie Monsters. It's got Lon Chaney up top, and it's got a... I definitely got to watch the video later. Thank you so much, Hank. That's the one with the greenish cover, kind of like the greenish bluish cover. That's the book. That's the Alan Holmes book that I used to read so much when I was a kid. It's going to be really cool to watch this video and see. So Zanzrak also remembers the book. Movie Mac. Hey, Aaron, I think you forgot to read my comment. Actually, your comment came in after I filmed my video last night, and I knew I was filming another video tonight, so rather than like refilm the C-section or add an addendum where yours would seem like an afterthought, I wanted to make sure that it became right in the forefront of this video right here. So I hope you don't think that I missed you on purpose or anything like that. No, I actually do kind of compile these as they go through. Last night, as I was filming this, Mark's one came up right just as I was finishing the video, and yours came up actually when I was upstairs just afterwards, and I was watching a little bit of TV, and I knew I was going to be making a video tonight, and I wanted to make sure that that your comment got here right in the front in the top of the section. Movie Mac is an awesome guy, by the way, guys. Drax 007. I'm looking so forward to the Sega Mega Drive Classic on PS4 and Xbox One late May. I kind of am. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie that this isn't going to the Switch, because when it comes to kind of classic retro gaming compilations like that, the place that I want to see them is on the Switch, because these are things that I want to carry around with me, that I want to be able to play on the go. So while I get it, I'm gonna wait a bit and see if it comes on the Switch. But if it doesn't, then I'll grab one of the other systems. I have like the PS4 and the Xbox One, so I just have decided which one to get on if it doesn't eventually come out on the Switch as well. I'm way behind on games that I have to buy. Spyro Remastered will be as fun as well later this year. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Spyro Remastered, but that's what's it? Spyro Remastered Ignited or something like that, or Reignited, something like that, right? Hollow Man is a great sci-fi thriller. The second one was a lot different to the first one, so I remember. You remember better than I do. I'll be honest. I was joking when I said, it's a movie. That was basically because I didn't remember the film very well. I think it was a Sci-Fi Channel type of movie or something like along those lines, but I didn't remember it well enough to really go into any depth with it at all. So actually, I really should watch some of those there that I don't remember so well. Replacement Killers was one of the first DVDs I had. You know what? I've heard a couple people actually say that. Don't remember much of it other than I liked it. Have not seen Color of the Night, but sounds interesting. Actually, it is pretty cool. And Mark Stewart is here again, so I'm ending off with Mark last night, and I'm ending off with Mark here now, unless one pops up in the next few minutes. Good video. I like your Game Boy. It brings back memories, as I had a Game Boy in the early 90s. I like your movie double packs. Hollow Man is good, and the second movie is okay. That's pretty much what I remember at Hollow Man, is it being kind of an okay release. Not a great release, but an okay release. Obviously not memorable enough for me to remember. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different tonight. We're going to look at a few of the things that I got over here. I'm actually going to dive into some stuff that I haven't looked into a while. And am I going to do a versus tonight? Maybe, because the verses that I'm going to do, it really, in all honesty, isn't going to take that long. You know what I love? Exploitation cinema. Exploitation films have always been one of my favorite things. It's not hard to see when you look at my collection, and it comes from my youth, actually, from visiting video rental stores where I'd see all these VHS and all these cool, like these big box ones, and these cool lenticular covers and unique artwork and different things. Some that I'd rent, other ones that would always be rented out, and I'd kind of wonder when or if I was ever going to see them. And sometimes I just wouldn't be able to find the movie that I really wanted to see. I'd see those video magazines that used to have in the stores where they'd show all the stuff that was available for them to order, and then I'd see that they have like all these mainstream stuff, but every once in a while I'd go to like a corner store or something like that, and I would find some of these real gems. And one of the focuses in my collection has been to find to hunt down and search out a lot of these kind of fun, cheesy exploitation films, whether it be blaxploitation, when prison movies, just like cheesy 70s and 80s action flicks, horror films, Z-grade horror, Canucksploitation. It's been my journey and my quest to hunt out and get as much of that in my collection as possible. The stuff that I really wanted to watch. When everybody was talking about, you know, you have to see this in the theater. I was still going to the theater and seeing that, then that, because I was a big theater goer as a kid. I went to see Karate Kid. I went to see 1989 Batman. I went to see all the Short Circuit 4 times. Mannequin. A lot of the 80s movies that you can probably, like, it's the era I grew up in. Friday 13th, all that stuff. But I always had a severe love for the cheesy stuff, for the stuff that didn't get the respect, for the stuff that you would see in a kind of like get a page or two in either a Fangoria or later on in maybe like a Gore Zone magazine or something like that. The Charles Band stuff, the Brian Yuznas of the world, the really, really low-grade stuff that you really didn't hear about. And if you were lucky if you saw maybe a copy of it at one of those video stores that just, you know, didn't have enough to rent a lot of the or to purchase a lot of the newer stuff, so they'd get in some cheesier older stuff like Humoresque, or not Humoresque, that's a Joan Crawford film, Humongous, and House on Sorority Row, Dracula Sucks, films like that. And that's been a big part of my collection, and that's why tonight I wanted to put 2 companies that do these type of films up against one another in a head-to-head. And without further ado, that would be Severin Films, who put out this amazing edition of Jack the Ripper for their was part of their Black Friday sales, the pre-order for Black Friday. And Vinegar Syndrome. So what I've been doing, that's one of their October releases from last year. What I've been doing is I'm putting Versus up against, you know, I put earlier Twilight Time up against Indicator, which was 2 companies that had a lot in common, and Indicator came out as the victor in that one. Now this one's a little bit easier. I do like both of these companies. To be honest with you, if a company has made it onto my Versus videos, they've by far and large, that already means that they're a good company to buy from, and they have quality releases. I wouldn't be putting some crappy company up on one of the Versus videos because there's no real reason to put them in there. That being said, all of the genre companies that I collect do deserve notice in this here. I originally was going to do Severin against Synapse, and I know that how that fight would turn out, and I can actually tell you that. Pretty simple here. If I was going to put Severin up against Synapse, I do really, really like Severin, and he got a lot of good releases. I'm not quite sure Synapse could have won that fight. And Synapse is a company that is known for putting out some incredible releases. It takes them a while, but they do put out a lot of really, really great stuff. Is it overpriced? Yes, a lot of it really is overpriced. And people will come back and they'll say, but they put a ton of work into this and they want to get this out. I get that. But the push towards the Steelbook for Synapse, I couldn't in good conscience put Severin up against Synapse, even though I really, really wanted to. I actually, that was my next planned video, but I was talking about Vinegar Syndrome here last night, and I thought both of these companies kind of do a lot of the same style releases. They both do some cheesy exploitation releases. They both work in sort of like in some of the more adult golden age of erotica type of stuff. Some are more cheesy or more exploitive than others, but that being said, that's kind of the fun of some of the films that they put out, and they both tend to put a lot of love into some of those features. Here's the thing, though. It's almost as one-sided with Severin against Synapse, except there's a little bit more, as it would be with Vinegar Syndrome against Severin. And as we know, in my first Versus video, Twilight Time got taken out of the running pretty fast. So in this Versus here, I decided I'd talk about Vinegar Syndrome a little bit, and I've already talked about them so much that I'm going to limit my talk on them, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about Severin this time around, and maybe I'm going to throw something else, a little monkey wrench in there for you guys. And obviously, Vinegar Syndrome is a company that I really enjoy. It's a company that I collect a lot of. They deal with the type of films that I am very interested in. They deal with exploitation. They deal with a lot of the really cheesy, monster-y type films that you didn't think were going to come out. They give you Jack Frost, they give you Demon Wind, and they give you them with lenticular covers with the greatest kind of cool cardboard heavy stock that you can imagine. They have packages that come out every month. They have 2 sales that are really big for collectors every year. There's a halfway to Black Friday sale and the Black Friday sale. Both of those will have releases that they're going to be kind of crazy. You may not know what the movie is. You're either going to hate yourself for getting it, or you're going to love yourself for finding this sleeper. And I've seen kind of a mix. Some people have taken The Liquid Sky and found this to be this new fantastic favorite movie of theirs. Other people have watched Liquid Sky and they hated it. Thought it was utterly a trash movie, but they'll flip it because it's a limited edition type of thing. And I get both of those reactions because films like that, films like Liquid Sky, some films maybe like Ice Cream Man, stuff like that, they can be kind of divisive. You either take these to your heart sometimes or you don't. Cult films are like that. Some cult films are going to stick with some people more than they're going to stick with others. And Vinegar Syndrome has been really good at putting out a nice variety of those. Now, where Severin seems to shine, for me especially, is they put out some really great, like, unusual, like documentaries. That Sexploitation was fantastic. They put out Future Shock. Arrow put that out in the UK. They put it out here. They put out these amazing, and two of my favorite releases, I'm not going to lie at all, are their Soledad Miranda movies, Vampire Lesbo and She Killed in Ecstasy. 2 great releases, CDs, just such amazing stuff. On the surface, it looks pretty even. It looks pretty neck and neck. But here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. When I said I was going to do this, I had to put in my personal experiences with each company as well. And Severin were really good at getting back to me. They got back to me fast. When the orders were going to be late, they let me know. But the orders were late, and they were extremely late. If you saw my recent Vinegar Syndrome birthday haul type pickup, I got that in a week. In a week. Severin were not ready when they did their last sale, and I'm going to cut some slack for that. However, one of the first things that they said to me on Facebook during the sale, I was one of the first people to get through and to try and to start buying stuff from there. I had to buy movies for Christmas for my dad, which he didn't actually end up getting till much later because they ended up getting pushed back and coming out much later. But one of the things that was mentioned is that there'd be bonuses, there'd be extras, there'd be some goodies thrown in, whether it be like pins or a free movie or an upgrade to a film that I had gotten, maybe something that I gotten on DVD upgraded to Blu-ray, or a lot of people got a lot of stuff, or got some stuff, or a poster, or something. And to be totally honest with you, I didn't get anything. I got the regular 3 or 4 free movies. And they're not really free because they were releases that looked like releases that were harder sells for them, to be totally honest with you. And I get that. But later on, just because whether they ran out of those titles or something, people were getting some amazing stuff near the end as their bonus films. But most people early on were getting some okay stuff, some middle of the road type of stuff that they said wasn't going to be part of that sale. And every time I talk about it, as much as I loved all the stuff that I got from Severin and I really enjoyed their films, I really did not enjoy the experience that I had with that company during the Black Friday sale. I pretty much ensure that I will buy Severin stuff again, since I love their releases, and I love a lot of the stuff that they put out. What I'm not going to do is buy it from Severin. I'll buy it from like either Amazon or Diabali, a company like that. And that's why it's a very lopsided when it comes to this portion of the versus fight. Vinegar Syndrome are fast, they are efficient, they're cheaper when it comes to shipping. They keep their word. If they say you're going to get X, X, and X in your thing, you'll get that. Now, the only thing that Vinegar Syndrome did that did disappoint me a bit, and during one of their sales, they put out this new catalog, and they had would have 3 DVDs, could be kind of like a trailer, a catalog with a 3 DVD trailer pack on it. Some people were getting that as freebies, mostly people on the U.S. side of it, but they also gave some, and even just the catalog part of it, onto the Canadian side as well. And as somebody that orders from Vinegar Syndrome a lot, I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get that in my package during that sale. Now, all that being said, that was probably the only, and that wasn't something I really expected. It was something I was kind of hoping for. There was no promise for any of that. That was kind of like just randomly thrown in, which I get. Severin, though, they really dropped the ball on that sale. And it's not the first time they've dropped the ball on a couple of releases as well. And I will go to bat for a lot of the stuff that Severin does. And they're a smaller company, so I will definitely not say don't buy from Severin. They have some great stuff. They really do. And I'm sure that the next time that Severin has a bigger sale like that they're going to work really hard to make sure that they're able to get the orders through a lot faster and actually be able to give people what they were expecting. They were a little misleading in some of the stuff that they said. They were misleading, and that sticks with me. I want to support every company out there that has stuff that I like, and I know I'm still going to buy Severin stuff, but right now, this is an easy one. Vinegar Syndrome takes it in Vinegar Syndrome versus Severin. It's Vinegar Syndrome does some amazing stuff. They put out movies that you never thought were going to be released. They give amazing transfers on these films. You rarely, if ever, hear of anybody complaining about a transfer that came out from Vinegar Syndrome. Usually, especially if it's like a really kind of like older, kind of obscure movie, you know which movies are going to have better transfers, but each time you always come out of it. And I have anyway. I've really especially have feeling that Vinegar Syndrome has done everything they could to give me the best possible release of the film that I got in my hand. So if I'm looking at the Murder Weapon and Deadly Embrace, and I'm thinking, well, this isn't like crystal clear, whatever quality. I know that I got the best release that they could possibly do because he put a lot of work into the releases. Severin, I love the Jack the Ripper one. I thought it was a great release. There was some people online that griped about it, but there's people that gripe about all of them. Now, I still think that the Jack the Ripper release is a fantastic release. Everybody should have this one in their collection. It's a great movie if you like this type of film. Jack the Ripper, it's cool stuff. It's cool beans, guys. And great releases like the Fistful of Trailers, cheesy, crazy stuff like The Sinful Dwarf, House on Straw Hill. I think is something that a lot of people should have in their collection. It's a little intense for some people, but I do like it, especially if you manage to get the Band the Saddest video. That's a great bonus feature. When I got House on Straw Hill for part of my Christmas one year, I was as excited about that as I was about my Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection set that I got, which kind of peeved my better half at the time because the Alfred Hitchcock collection was a huge surprise, and the fact that I was as excited at the time about House on Straw Hill as was about the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection, she wasn't too pleased about that. But in the long run, I think she knows that I loved both of them, and obviously the Alfred Hitchcock collection is one of my favorite box sets that I have, and I do really want to focus on down the road. I'm going to do an Alfred Hitchcock series of videos and go over the films, give you my impressions on each of these films. I can tell you right now that my favorite Alfred Hitchcock film of all time is easy for me to say. It's a film starring Teresa Wright and Joseph Cotten and MacDonald Carey. Cronin is in it as well in a cool character part, and he would go on to work with Alfred Hitchcock behind the scenes as well. And that movie is shadow of a doubt. It is just a fantastic film, and Uncle Charlie, you rock. It's a film that I love. There we go. It's the second verses. This was a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot less controversial, I think, than the last one. Now, I may be totally wrong. There may be some really, really big Vinegar Syndrome fans on here that are not going to like that I chose. Going to be some Severin fans are not going to like that I chose Vinegar Syndrome over Severin. But I can honestly say Vinegar Syndrome is one of those companies that not only puts out releases that I really like personally, but they're one of the easiest companies that I've ever had to deal with. Shipping's fantastic. Speed of delivery is great. The releases that they put out hit me in in certain spots, just hit my childhood, hit my youth. Again, all of their films aren't for everyone. It's the same as Severin. All of their films are not for everyone. They both put out great films, and if you look at a Severin film on a movie shelf and you look at a Vinegar Syndrome film on a movie shelf, if it's a film that, if it's something that you're interested in or something that you kind of want to blind buy, I blind buy Vinegar Syndrome over Severin. That's just me. But both those companies, I would be extremely excited to see in any store that I walked into, and if I didn't have the movie and it was at a decent price, or maybe sometimes at a not so decent price if I really wanted the movie, I definitely look towards grabbing it. So Vinegar Syndrome, here, this is the first round that you guys are in, and just like Indicator, you guys have advanced on to the next round. Who you guys going to take on next? I'm not sure. What's going to be the next versus? I'm not going to tell you in this video, but that is coming up. That is something I'm working on. The Hammer versus the Amicus video that you guys are asking me if I'm still doing. Yes, and yes, I'm still watching. A lot of watching and reading. Anyway, by the end of the day, it's going to come down to am I going to script the Hammer versus Amicus video? I'm going to research it. But when I'm doing something like this, I'll come down here and I will talk. And I will give you my honest-to-God opinion, raw, unedited, uncensored opinion. And that's how I do these. That's how I do these videos. That's not to say I'm against doing some scripted videos of whether I'm doing a visual essay or something like that down the road, especially when I have more time and I've got more internet to work with. Yeah, then I can actually do that type of thing. Tonight is going to be a bit of a shorter video, so we're going to look at one more thing, and we're going to clue this one up a little bit early. Hope you guys are liking this so far. I love doing the C-section. And Movie Mac, always know this. I would never forget you in the comment section, in the C-section. You're too cool a dude for that. Let's look at some stuff. I have an idea. Alright, so welcome to a quick little section of underrated, unoverlooked. So last night I showed you some really cool Mill Creek releases, including some Mill Creek Blu-ray double features. But Mill Creek doesn't only put out Blu-ray double features, he actually put out some DVD stuff as well. So I thought I'd show you a couple of their DVD ones, and a lot of these come out as 4-packs. So that being said, when I say 4-packs, it's usually 2 DVDs, one, each movie will have two films on it. So first off is one that I got here, and as you can see, make sure you can see this one here. You see Bela Lugosi there? And that's the Return of the Vampire, right? Yeah, Return of the Vampire, The Revenge of Frankenstein, which is actually a Hammer film. I'm hoping Indicator puts out a really good release of this. And Mr. Sardonicus and the Brotherhood of Satan, which, as you guys know, I also have a DVD double feature of this. Now, I had the DVD double feature before I had this one here, but when I found a 4-pack with all 4 of these on it, I really wanted to rewatch Revenge of Frankenstein. Return of the Vampire is actually a favorite film of mine that a lot of people don't know, but I really do like that one. Another one that I've been looking for quite a long time, and you know why, if you know a lot of my stuff, is right here. So this has both Autopsy movies on it, Autopsy 1 and 2. Also has one here called Double Vision. I don't remember if I watched that one or not. I probably saw it before, but I don't remember it right now. But the one that I wanted it for right there is April Fool's Day. You'll know that as probably the yet another one of those remakes that wasn't so good. But I'm an 80s slasher fan, and at the time, me and my oldest were doing like a series of like remake versus original reviews, and I wanted to do some remake versus original and stuff like that. So that's one of the ones that I was looking at. It's a bad movie, but for some reason I get drawn in every time that I see it. Now, another thing when it comes to movies is music, and a lot of time I could talk about movie scores and some amazing movie scores, or just some incredible movie soundtracks, and I will one day sit down and we'll talk about that. We'll get a little bit in depth with that. But tonight I want to show you two movies that each have one defining song in the film that will get stuck in your mind, and every time you hear that song, you'll think of that movie, and every time you see that movie, whether it's poster or box cover, you're going to think of that song. And first off is You're Next. Now, a lot of people really, really love this movie. I think it's okay. I was not one of the huge, like, overbearing, like, huge fans of You're Next. It's a decent film, but I thought it was overhyped. And maybe I had too much hype going in, but I was really excited to actually to see this. It was okay. I liked the main protagonist a lot. I know the family members are supposed to be annoying, but they got a little bit too annoying for me at times. But the opening song, I don't even have to say it. It gets me dancing. I love it. It's fantastic. And the last one is this one here, The Loved Ones. And I will give you the song for this one here. I'm going to make you look for Your Next song. You should know it. Say it in the comment section down below, and you'll know what it is. But this one here is Am I Pretty Enough? A lot of people don't really know that song, but they hear it and they think, oh, that's that song from that movie. I know that Lola's Basement, if he's watching, he will know this one because his title of his channel, Lola's Basement, came from The Loved Ones. It's a fantastic one. And right now, I gotta go because I hear my kettle boiling. I just turned it on. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks once again for joining me in the movie library. Obviously, my kettle is telling me it's time for tea. There's one thing I kind of forgot that I did kind of want to mention. Aside from the verses that we're doing right now with the different companies, I hope this is going to interest you, and it's something that I've been thinking about a lot that I really kind of want to do. Is aside from the company, the label wars, the genre label wars, coming up, hopefully in the very near future, I'll also be doing a different versus series, and that will be the format wars. That's right, VHS, Beta, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, Laserdisc, CEDs. The war is on. Thanks for watching, guys. Once again, thanks for joining me on Movie Library. Have a great evening.